Good morning. Today is Sunday, February 7th, 2021, and I'm Margaret Drugovich, the president of Hartwick College. It's been a very busy week on campus and around the state of New York. I'm glad to bring you this update on this Sunday morning in Oneonta. It's just starting to snow. Last week, I provided you an update that was framed against the many contradictions that we are experiencing in this phase of COVID. My update today focuses on some key decisions we've made in response to the challenges that we face as those conditions continue to evolve. So last week we announced that we would hold a meaningful and celebratory commencement ceremony for both the classes of 2020 and 2021 on Saturday, May 29th. We also announced that we would host this celebration as a remote event. Every member of our community revels in the joy that comes with celebrating the accomplishments of our graduates. I've been very proud to help lead this event in my 13 years as president of Hartwick. The challenge of having an in-person commencement is, of course, that there is no certainty right now about the future course of the virus or its variants. And there's no certainty about vaccines and whether members of our community will be able to receive them so that collectively we can have some level of protection during a large in-person event. And of course, there is no certainty that the current state-mandated limitation on the size of social gatherings will be lifted in time for this celebration. The only thing that is certain is that we all want this celebration to be as personal and as special as it can be in the time of COVID. Virtual or in person, a celebration of high quality takes time and resources to accomplish if you want to do it well, and we want to do it very well indeed. So we're working hard on this. We'll be sending more information to the members of the classes of 2020 and class of 2021 very, very soon. I look forward to having a beautiful and meaningful celebration that will mark the contributions that each of you have made. Our students, our faculty, our staff, our parents, our donors. Each of you contribute to make this incredible Hartwick education possible. It will be a true capstone moment and one that we will all remember for decades to come. I was surprised, and maybe you were surprised too, that the New York State Governor announced that as of February 1st, school-aged athletes in higher-risk sports could participate in organized play, including competition. The condition he placed on those activities is that they must be permitted by local health authorities. In turn, our local health department has written that, quote, "The resumption of these activities does not mean that they are safe or without risk." Our strategic response team has been discussing both the challenge and the opportunity provided with the governor's announcement. As you may know, in the fall, we made the decision to postpone athletic competition. We know that there is no technology-assisted proxy for team training. This activity is necessary for team athletes to maintain their competitiveness. The challenge, of course, is how we keep these type of activities safe while still affording our athletes the opportunity to train together. Since the governor's announcement, we have consulted with our local health department, and they have been clear that, as in so many cases with COVID, there is a lack of good data and information related to virus transmission that may occur through the practice of each sport. They point out, and I agree with them, perhaps the greatest risk is that athletes, once they start to train together, let down their guard off the court. We've talked a lot about this. Taking all that we do know into consideration, we announced this week that we will permit closely supervised, limited, masked practices to begin. We see these practices as a test case for whether we can resume other, more competitive, closely supervised fitness activities for our non-athletes. As for intercollegiate competition, we'll make that decision in due course. One thing that is certain, the success of this test case will rest largely on the success of our athletes in controlling the spread of infection among team members. Athletes build their success on discipline every day. If there was a time for thoughtful self-discipline, this is certainly it. We all hope that this test will be a success, but we know there is no guarantee. To that point, last Sunday I shared with you that we had no active cases of COVID among those who work, study, and or live on our campus. This week, we conducted nearly 1,000 tests on campus and found 10 positive cases. That's a positivity rate of about 1%. That's good. It's well below the state positivity rate that still hovers over 4%. Even so, as of this morning, we have 14 active cases, and 12 of these are students. Many of these students who became infected likely were infected through close, unmasked contact with others who were infected. If we want to move forward together, we need to keep applying what we learned together. And what have we learned? Keep your distance. Wear your mask. It is your best protection until the majority of our members of our community can be vaccinated. And regarding vaccination, there's important news there as well. At the end of this week, the governor announced that New York State will reallocate unused hospital worker vaccines to those individuals with conditions that make them more susceptible to the negative effects of COVID-19. So this is important. Starting February 15th, unused hospital doses will be available for administration to adults of any age who are at increased risk of moderate or severe illness or death because of COVID. I want to share this list with you this morning because it opens up eligibility considerably. So, as of February 15th, adults who have the following conditions will be eligible for vaccine. Those conditions include cancer, whether it's current or in remission, chronic kidney disease, pulmonary disease, including but not limited to COPD, asthma, pulmonary fibrosis, and cystic fibrosis. Those with intellectual and developmental disabilities, including Down syndrome. Adults with heart conditions, including but not limited to heart failure, coronary artery disease, cardiomyopathies, and high blood pressure. Also, those with a weakened immune system, including but not limited to solid organ transplant, blood or bone marrow transplant, immune deficiencies, HIV, use of corticosteroids, and use of other immune-weakening medicines. Vaccines will also be available to individuals who are considered to be severely obese, individuals who are pregnant, people with sickle cell disease or thalassemia, individuals with type 1 or type 2 diabetes mellitus, people with cerebrovascular disease, individuals with neurologic conditions, including but not limited to Alzheimer's and dementia, or individuals with liver disease. That should be good news for many members of our community and those of you who are listening to this video who are in New York State. How and where these vaccines will be administered and how many of them will be available and what evidence you need to provide starting on the 15th, this is all still unclear. But it's good to know that many of our employees and students who have not yet been eligible will now be officially eligible for vaccination. Let's hope that the 20% increase in vaccine availability that is expected by the governor comes to pass and soon, and that there will be even more to come. Now, a challenge remains. There is still not a single portal where you can go in New York to access vaccine information. But no matter. Keep searching for an appointment at pharmacies and through the Am I Eligible app that is sponsored by New York State. Also, share what you learned with others. If we keep working together, we'll work our way through this. We look forward to the return to campus this week of over 300 students who will join us for the spring term. I'm looking forward to your return. Students who are here for J term say that this is the most normal they have felt since COVID arrived a year ago. I am really grateful to our faculty who are teaching in person. Being with you in class has been a truly stabilizing activity for our students. Despite COVID challenges, there is truly nothing better than moving into our future together. We'll continue to make important adjustments to our COVID operating plan as new information becomes available. And our daily case count can be found on our website just 2 clicks away. You can find all of our updates at hartwick.edu/COVID updates. Finally, for those in our community who are COVID positive, please know that we care about you and we are hoping for your swift and complete recovery. As today's song says, what holds us together and makes us strong is love. Today's song is Give Love, as performed by Sweet Honey and the Rock. Be safe. Please wear your mask. Have a great Sunday.